The Game, man. This is an artist that I really, really love. He is an artist that musically is one of the best hip hop rappers that there is. I think his discography is one of the best that's ever been put out in hip hop in terms of careers, like full on careers. He has one of the best discographies ever. I even gave him huge props for the Doctor's Advocate. I did a whole documentary on it, the making of the Game's Doctor's Advocate. If you haven't seen it, check it out. There, I say, hey, this guy had his back against the wall. No Dre, no 50, and delivered that great of an album. And arguably, to me, it could be even better than the documentary. But here's where the issues for people come with when it comes to Game. When he does these type of interviews, and then he does these interviews and just says a bunch of outlandish things, which sometimes to me is cool because it starts to spark something in hip hop where there's some competition, there's some talk. It's cool. It's very entertaining. But some of them get too far, too far into la la land to the point where they're flat out lies. And then that's where a lot of people have this bad taste in their mouth when it comes to Game. It's not that he's not an amazing rapper. I think anyone who respects hip hop, who loves hip hop, will say that Game is one of the best in hip hop. But it's his antics outside of the music is where people get turned off, by him. And I understand where that's coming from because a lot of the stuff he says is just outlandish. And he does get misquoted a lot. That's the truth. Like, if you look at the Game and Eminem situation, he did get misquoted quite a few times. He wasn't really meaning disrespect to Eminem. He was just saying, hey, let's have a competition. I think I'm better than you, and that's it. And, people misquote things and so on and so forth. And a lot of, different sides have been misquoted multiple times. But in this, the Game sat down with Amazon Music and did an interview. This was a fairly recent interview. I thought it was a little bit older because, he has the braids and the glasses. I thought that was from a while ago. But he really recently did an interview with Amazon Music. And on there, he got asked about, did he actually write 50 Cent's What Up Gangsta? Because if you guys don't remember, roughly a year and a half ago when Game was doing his Drillmatic tour for his album, Whack 100 Game's manager said that Game wrote 50 Cent's What Up Gangsta. Game himself never said that, so I want to make that very clear. Game himself never said that. But Whack 100, his manager, did say that because of the What Up Blood, What Up Cuz, What Up Gangsta. They're saying that, Game had a role in that and that he influenced 50 to say that, so on and so forth. But if you guys know my content, if you guys know what I dropped recently, you'll know that this is completely false. So let's first play the clip of Game talking about that What Up Gangsta and did he write it or not, and then I'll talk about why it's completely false.
You wrote What Up Gangsta for 50.
I didn't write What Up Gangsta for 50. I was in there and part of the influence. And if you know, like, I call it like the way the Locks record music. Mm-hmm. It's like if Jada is, writing his verse and Styles and Chic is right there and they like, nah, say that. Yeah. And you throw it in there. It's just like, your little help. But obviously, What Up Blood, What Up Cuz, What Up Gangsta is Los Angeles influence. Like, This is LA. So it is what it is. But 50, to take nothing nothing away from 50. 50, a great writer. That's what he do. He write, especially anything that's like melodic. So hooks is his specialty. Mm. You know what I'm saying? And then his verses be like his story. So he ain't capping. He really about that life. Yeah. But so am I. So that's where we bumped heads at. But I didn't do no writing for 50. 50 ain't do no writing for me. Like he know. Yeah. And 50 is not a better writer than me. Mm. Not a better lyricist. Mm. You know what I'm saying? Better with melodies, hooks, that's his thing. I give him that. I'm not gonna take nothing away from nobody that's good at what they good at, but as far as like lyricism, he can't with me on that level. Yeah. But he know.
Game is saying that he was in the room influencing. He's not saying he wrote What Up Gangsta. Let's get that out the way. He's not saying that. But he's saying he was in the room and influenced 50 to say, What Up Blood, What Up Cuz. Now, this is where I jump in and provide the facts to you guys from people that were actually there. If you guys see my documentary, How 50 Cent Got Rich and Nearly Died Trying on YouTube, you would know that this is completely false. in my documentary, I talked to Sha Money XL, who is the co-executive producer of Get Rich or Die Trying, who was there from beginning to end when it comes to the process of the making of Get Rich or Die Trying with 50. He was the only person that was there from beginning to end, just like 50. He was there more than Dre and M. What does he say in the documentary? Let me play the clip. He clearly states that What Up Gangsta was recorded way before 50 met Dr. Dre and Eminem. Now, why does that matter? Because think about it. 50 would have not met the Game before Dr. Dre and Eminem. It just never happened. 50 met Game after he signed with M and Dre, and eventually Game appeared in the club video, so on and so forth, and then eventually got introduced to G Unit, and then he was around, so on and so forth. You get the gist of everything.
What Up Gangsta, shout out to Rob Reef, Tulo. When he did that, it was like, bolt, everything, hook, everything was exactly what you heard. Backgrounds, yo, he did that one day, solid ass record. I'm like, yo, what the fuck is this? And we just pushed it to the side and just held it. It wasn't on no mixtape, it wasn't on nothing. First record I ever recorded on Pro Tools, so there was mad records to come after that. What else I got here? Let me see. This is the first record I ever recorded on Pro Tools right here. And I didn't know what I was doing, so I fucked up the session and lost all the files. So my man Carlisle Young had to come and re-record it for me and kind of organize it. But this is the first record I ever recorded on Pro Tools. Everything before this was on ADATs. Many Men, How the time we recorded on ADATs. And we had to transfer it to Pro Tools.
So what is he saying? The first record they recorded on Pro Tools, it's the first record that they put to the side once they got to Pro Tools, meaning that 50 had this record chilling way before he met Dre and M. I actually remember being in Sha Money's basement when we were looking over the tracks in the video footage and the documentaries you guys see. I remember going there, and I remember seeing the dates on a lot of these files. Some of these were in 2001. Think about that, 2001. Game and 50 never met in 2001. Game never had any influence. Now, when 50 went to Dre and Eminem, they did re-record some songs and add in some stuff here and there. But What Up Gangsta was already there to the side. Many Men was already there. Poor Lil Rich was already there. Quite a few records were already made way before Dre and M's involvement. So, yeah, you get the gist of it, that this is completely a lie. It's unfortunate that Game has to say this type of stuff. It just makes no sense. You know, I would love for Game. I invite Game. Like I said, I have respect for Game. I invite Game to this podcast to talk to someone that actually knows his facts, that actually knows his history, that shows love not only to you, Game, but to everybody in this hip-hop world. I just like having great conversation about this type of stuff. Game is definitely not telling the truth in this situation, at least from my point of view. I believe Sha Money more than I believe the Game, because Sha Money was there way before Dre and M's involvement, and 50 used his basement to record a lot of Get Rich or Die Trying, as you guys saw in the documentary. So if you want to know about Get Rich or Die Trying's history, check out the documentary that I have on my channel, How 50 Cent Got Rich and Nearly Died Trying. That's the title of the documentary. Check it out. It's on my channel. And, you know, there you go. Game did say that, you know, he's a better lyricist than 50. I do agree. 50 can be a lyricist. 50 can have bars. There's plenty of times where he spits some crazy shit. I think straight to the bank, he spits dope-ass bars that's slept on. He's got lots of tracks where he just spits, you know, insane. But 50 has better hook writing abilities, better melodies, can make songs, can make hits more than Game can. Game can rap his ass off way more than 50 can. So I do agree with Game there that he is a better, you know, Game is a better lyricist. But yeah, I mean, this is why people get mad at Game, is because of these type of, you know, antics or things that he says. And he says that like 50 didn't ghostwrite for him. That's another misconception. 50 never said he ghost wrote for Game. He said he had records that were already prepared, meaning hooks, his verses, and all that. Like the hooks were ready, the verses of 50's were there. 50 had to mute his own verses for Game to put in his verses. So he's not saying he wrote for Game. He's just saying, hey, I had these tracks, Hit or Love It, How We Do, Higher. You know, these tracks, I already had them for my album. But instead, I gave them to Game. I muted my own vocals and just gave them to Game with the hooks and everything prepared. He's never said that, hey, I wrote, you know, Game's verses or any of that. He's never said that. So that's another misconception that I think even Game thinks is true, but 50's never said that. In all the interviews I've seen, he's never said anything like that. But this is where, you know, This is where the confusion comes in. This is where the antics and all this crazy stuff. So Game is one of the most dopest artists, period, that's in hip hop. But, you know, these are the type of things that people don't appreciate. But, you know, it's Game. So fuck it.